I have over 600,000 followers on Instagram, but if I had to go back to day one and start from 0 followers, here's exactly what I would do. In case you haven't met before, hi there, my name is Brock Johnson. It's my job to help you grow on social media. Over the last 2 years, I've been growing my own Instagram at a rate of 1,000 followers per day, from less than 50,000 followers at the beginning of 2021 to now over 600,000 followers, and I'm continuing to grow and consistently not just grow in followers, but convert those followers into customer. I've also now coached thousands of other creators and entrepreneurs on how to grow their account as well, and within our membership club, we have dozens of members who have over 100,000 followers, and one of our members actually has the most viewed reel on the history of Instagram. And oftentimes the strategies and practices that you're going to put into place when you have a relatively large following are different than when you're starting with 0 followers. So with that being said, let's go back to square one and talk about what I would do if I had 0 followers and I was starting fresh. First and foremost, before I even started that new account, I would take a break. And I know this sounds weird, but oftentimes we feel burnt out and overwhelmed by Instagram because we don't allow ourselves to rest. But oftentimes it's resting that allows us to not quit. So if you're feeling burnt out, frustrated, and overwhelmed by Instagram currently, let's say you have an existing account and you're just banging your head against the wall, take a break, take a breather. It's okay to take a month off and then start fresh from there. Then once I did decide to come back and I would launch this new Instagram account, before I even picked out the username or pressed that set up account button, I would make sure I had a crystal clear niche. Now, niche is a scary word that gets thrown around a lot in online entrepreneurship, but the way I define niche is having 2 things very clearly identified. Number 1, the topic, category, or content that you are going to be posting about. And number 2, the ideal follower who you are going to be posting for. So saying that I'm going to post fitness for everyone is not a very well-defined niche, because there's so many subcategories within fitness, and everyone is definitely way too broad of an ideal follower. It's cliche to say, but it's true. The riches are in the niches. And I know it's scary, but the more you niche down, the more crystal clear and tiny that you can get with what you're going to be posting about and whom you're going to be posting for, the faster you will grow. If you're posting rock climbing tips for everyone, you're going to grow pretty slow. But if you're posting beginner rock climber tips for women over 40, you're going to grow a lot faster because people know if they should follow you or not. It's impossible to be liked by everyone. And on Instagram, your goal should not be to be liked by everyone. Your goal should be to be loved by your ideal group of followers. And fun fact, those ideal followers are also probably going to turn into ideal customers eventually. If you're posting about beginner rock climbing tips for women in their 40s, then a man in his 20s probably isn't going to follow you, and they're probably not going to become a customer down the line. That's probably a good thing, because the tips that you're going to give to someone in their 20s is probably different than someone in their 40s. The tips that you're going to give to a beginner are very different than tips you're going to give to an intermediate or an advanced person. The more crystal clear and niche down you can get, the faster you will grow. One of my favorite examples of this is one of our students, Sharice Allison, who, when she first joined our club, she was mainly focused on posting fitness and weight loss and wellness tips for women. It was kind of vague, kind of vanilla, and to be honest, there were thousands, if not millions of other people online doing exactly what she does. But we started talking to her, we got a little bit more of her story, and we learned that she was battling and recovering from addiction herself, and that was a big part of her wellness journey. Another big part of her journey was doing at-home, quick and easy workouts. She didn't want to have to go to the gym and spend 2 hours in there slaving away. She instead wanted to do quick and easy at-home workouts. So we made some adjustments to her bio, we started to get more clear with her niche, and she's now grown to over 100,000 followers on Instagram. Another awesome example of this is the Mobility Duo. They do injury prevention for snowboarders through yoga. They don't even appeal to skiers. They're not saying, hey, winter sports enthusiasts, or hey, outdoor people, or hey, extreme sports enthusiasts, or extreme sports lovers. No. They're only talking to snowboarders, and they're not giving them like exercise routines with like weights and dumbbells, and they're not giving like all these crazy advanced nutrition tips. They're really just focused on giving yoga. They're really just focused on helping snowboarders prevent injuries through primarily yoga and other physical therapy aligned practices. And it's because of that crystal clear niche that they've been able to grow to over 150,000 followers and consistently triple or quadruple their sales goals and expectations, because they know who their ideal follower is. So if you're a snowboarder and you land on their page and you're looking to prevent injuries, you know that you should follow them. You know that you're right for them. And when it comes time to sell and promote their offers, you know that it's going to help you. And it's really important that you start with niche before moving on to anything else. 97% of our new incoming members into our Instagram club think they have their niche correctly identified, yet in fact, they do not. They come in thinking that they know who their target follower is or what their topic is going to be about, but then when we start to really ask them and we start to look at their content, we realize that it's really vague, it's vanilla, it's wishy-washy, it's constantly changing. So I want you to get crystal clear on your niche before moving on. Once you have your niche identified, then you can set up your bio and optimize it for growth. And there's a few key areas I want you to think about. Number one, first and foremost, the username. I recommend having your first and last name in your username unless you are creating an Instagram account for a specific brand. If you can have your first and last name and a keyword relating to your industry, that's even better. So brockjohnson.instagram or brockjohnson_coaching or brockjohnson_fitness or brockjohnson.baking. Those sorts of things would make my Instagram more searchable if I was in those categories. But I don't want you to get too caught up in the username, and I don't want you to make your username too long that it's just a jumbled mess of letters. You should make it clear and easy to read. Speaking of clear, we want to make sure that your Instagram profile picture is a well-lit, close-up selfie. As far away as I am from the camera right now is too far for your Instagram profile picture. You want to get right up in the camera. You want to be well-lit, easy to see, and then pro tip, use Canva to remove the background of whatever you're standing in front of and put yourself on a solid color. Every single day, we see thousands and thousands of those tiny little Instagram profile pictures. So if yours is on a solid background with a clear, well-lit selfie, you're going to stand out and I'm going to be that much more likely to click on your profile. Then once I get to your profile, there's one line that everyone messes up, and it's your Instagram name. The Instagram name is that bold text that's right below your profile picture. And because it's called the name, most people just put their name. But if my Instagram username was Brock11Johnson, and then I put Brock Johnson on that name line, then the only way I could be searched for on Instagram is if someone knew my name. And that's not very ideal, that's not very optimized. So instead, on our Instagram name, I want you to put some keywords about yourself. Think about it like a title for your Instagram account. On mine, it says Instagram Growth Coach. I used to have IG Growth Coach, but I thought more about it and realized that people probably aren't searching for IG. There's probably way more people who are looking up Instagram Growth Coach. So I made that change. I want you to think about what keywords is my ideal follower looking up. And I know you might call yourself the sassy marketing ninja, but most likely your ideal follower isn't looking up a sassy marketing ninja. They're most likely looking up a female millennial business coach. So use those kind of generic terms that would be very searchable by your ideal follower in that Instagram name line. Then moving on in your bio, the first line of your bio should clearly articulate and identify your niche. Who is your ideal follower and what are you going to provide for them? What problem for your ideal avatar are you going to be solving? What kind of content are you going to be providing and for whom? Basically, on this line, you're answering the question, who should follow me and why? Then the second and or third line of your bio are a little bit less important, but can continue to articulate why someone should follow you, maybe your credibility, your expertise, or what you might offer. And then that fourth line of your bio should be a call to action. If you have a link and you're planning on putting that on your Instagram, then the call to action can direct people to click on the link or click on the link to grab my free download, whatever it may be. But if you don't have a link that you're ready to put, if you don't have an offer that you're ready to direct people to, then it might just be beneficial to use that fourth line to say, follow for more, or watch my stories for insert the blank. Basically, you want to end your bio encouraging people to take next steps, whatever those next steps may be. And yes, you can put more than 4 lines on your bio, but from what we've found, when you start to go more than 4 lines, it goes ... more. And the likelihood that someone's going to press that button and read through your 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th line of your bio about how you have 8 kids and you're a wine lover and you love skiing is very unlikely. So instead, try to keep your bio to 4 lines or less and try to keep each line relatively short. Remember, people have short attention spans, so keep it brief, keep it succinct. We don't need a bunch of run-on adjectives about all the different things you love to do. We need to clearly articulate, here's who I want to follow me, here's why those people should follow me. Then, before you worry about doing anything else, I want you to post 12 to 15 feed posts. These can be carousels, photos, reels, it doesn't really matter. But what it does matter is that these posts are great examples of the kinds of content that people can expect from you. With these 12 to 15 posts, you're not caring about engagement. You don't care how many views they get, you don't care if they go viral, you don't care if they get any likes or comments. I don't care if it all says 0. The goal is to have something for people to look at when they come in. Imagine it like you were opening up a new restaurant. Imagine it like you were opening up a new clothing store. And the first day you opened, you put the sign up on top, you put the open now sign, you started inviting people inside. But then when they walked inside, there were no clothes on any of the racks. There were no shoes on display, there was no jewelry up at the counter, there was nothing. Well, then obviously people are gonna walk right out of that store. So before you start trying to grow this Instagram and promoting it on all your other channels and being like, hey, you need to follow me, we need to have a reason to follow you. So I recommend posting at least 12 to 15 pieces of content to your feed that are exemplary of what people can expect from you in the future. You might be creating new content for this, or pro tip, if you are starting over on Instagram, let's say you already had an account running and now you're just wanting to start fresh for whatever reason, you can take some of your best posts from that old account and recycle them onto the new account. Literally just post them again onto the new account. They've already performed well, they've already done well on this old account. As long as they still relate to your niche, you can share them on this new account. Again, I don't want you to worry about engagement or anything like hashtags or how many people your post is reaching. I really just want you to focus on the value of the content. Now, this next step is only for those of you who are restarting on Instagram. If you've never been on Instagram before, if you've never used social media before, you're not gonna be able to do this step, but most of us have been on Instagram or we have been on some other social media before. And so the next step, the 5th step, is to promote your new account on any of your old accounts. But be very clear. Say only follow this account if you meet X, Y, and Z demographics, or if you're interested in X, Y, and Z topic. Or else you're going to end up with all the same followers that you had before, and you're going to end up with the same low engagement you had before. So make sure you're very clear. Only follow this account if you want blank, and then be very, very specific about the content you're going to be providing and the type of demographic or the ideal follower who you are trying to attract. And then you can continue promoting this new account on your old account. And it doesn't just have to be on your old Instagram account. It could be on your TikTok, your Twitter, your YouTube. If you have an email list, definitely send out an email to your email list about this new account and just continue to promote this new account, and just continue also to be specific about what people can expect on this new account. And at this point, you're pretty much all set up. So my 6th and final thing that I would do is just continue posting. I would recommend posting at least once a day. Speaking of, and with that in mind, it might be wise before you even begin this restarting process to batch some content. Take that time off, take that time away from Instagram to create new content, create new reels, create new photos and carousels, so that when you come back to Instagram, you don't have the same burden of overwhelm and stress that you felt with the current Instagram. Take a month or so off to create some content so that when you come back to Instagram, when you start this new fresh account, you can hit the ground running. You can be 2 or 3 or 4 weeks ahead of schedule with your content, so you don't have to constantly have to be creating new content every single day. And the reason I say to post at least 1 feed post per day is that studies have shown the more you post, the more you grow. As long as you can sustain that level of frequency, and as long as your posts remain valuable, entertaining, or impactful for your audience, you're going to continue to grow. And before I end this video, I just want to say, I know it's scary to start a new account, but I want to applaud you for watching this video and even considering starting a new Instagram account. I know it feels scary to start at 0. I know it feels like you lose all your credibility when you don't have any followers, but I just want to encourage you that oftentimes new accounts can grow even faster. You're not bogged down by thousands and thousands of fake followers and spam accounts, or years of low engagement and low activity. Instead, you can start fresh with a clean slate. Instead of starting 6 feet deep in a hole, you're starting at ground zero. So I encourage you to get started today. Let me know in the comments if one of these tips was extra helpful for you, and don't forget to subscribe for more content just like this.